Welcome! Today we got something special for you. As you can see, we're in a Lotus. This is a 2020 Lotus Evora GT that we have for sale. We recently took this one on trade. We actually took it on trade for a 23 Toyota Supra. Obviously the previous owner liked sporty vehicles, just changing flavors. This thing's in beautiful shape, clean Carfax, tad under 19,000 miles. 2020 is a great year for the Evora because they added slightly more horsepower. It went from 400 horsepower to 416 horsepower. We'll see how this thing performs. We'll do a little walk around, and more importantly, we'll take it out for a spin. We'll see how it does in the straightaway, and I have this nice little curvy road to see how it handles. When we appraised this thing, I took it for a little drive, but I haven't had a chance to really put it through its paces, really drive this thing, so we can do that on video, and you can discover it with me. The last time I drove one of these was probably about 12 years ago. I drove one from Bellevue that we had for our dealership. I don't know if I was getting worked on at Park Place, but yeah, I drove it down from Bellevue to our dealership, and that was a lot of fun. So now I'm going to revisit it again 12 years later, but this thing is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and so some other additions for 2020 is that they actually said, according to my research, they doubled the downforce on this thing. It already has a lot of downforce, but in 2020 they said that they doubled the amount of downforce. This thing is truly an exotic vehicle. You can see I have a plaque here, hand built by David Hills. This thing is absolutely amazing. The nice thing too is that mechanically wise, for an engine, it looks fancy, it looks exotic. Underneath that fancy red engine cover is a Toyota 3.5 liter V6. Lotus is known for making amazing race cars, amazing handling vehicles, but the British aren't really known for making fantastic engines. So leaving Lotus to the good part, making an amazing chassis, amazing handling vehicle, but using a Toyota V6, I think that's a match made in heaven. It's supercharged, pumping out 416 horsepower. But as far as, mechanical bits, it's not too different than the, engine they put in a Toyota Camry or a Toyota Highlander, aside from adding a supercharger. So that should be reliable. It's a Toyota engine. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit extra stressed with a supercharger, but I think, comparing it to maybe like a really high complex Lamborghini or Ferrari engine, I think it should probably be more reliable and probably less complex or less expensive to service. If you're looking for a mid-engine exotic sports car under $100,000, that's not 20, 30 years old, this Evora is definitely something to consider. I'm 6'2". I fit very nicely in here, plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom back here. Obviously it's a small focused mid-engine sports car, but it's actually pretty comfortable. And at the same time, if you're looking for a mid-engine sports car at the time of making this video, we also have a 21 C8 Corvette 3LT with a Z51 handling package. Normally we don't have cars like this, but the stars are aligned and we have two mid-engine sports cars that are in a similar price point. You can either get this with a 6-speed automatic transmission. If I was going to get a car like this, you got to get it with a 6-speed manual. It's a great gearbox. The interior is absolutely beautiful. We have these nice leather seats, Alcantara trim and stitched leather in the doors. Likewise on the dashboard, on the center console, we have an Alcantara wrapped wheel. The fit and finish in this interior is absolutely beautiful. We have carbon fiber. I think this has the optional carbon fiber package. We even have heated seats, and we have this button right here to make the exhaust a little bit louder. Yep, you can hear the exhaust livens up when you hit that button. There's race mode, sport mode. So beautiful carbon fiber wherever we look. Beautiful color combination as well, like the red accents. Very comfortable and supportive seats. And this actually has the optional, this one has optional back seats. Almost a joke, almost like the seats in a Porsche 911. I think even my 4-year-old and 7-year-old might have a hard time fitting back here, but it acts as, I guess, a good partial shelf, or if you're shorter than me, then you could have maybe a little bit of leg room for a little kid back there. I definitely wouldn't fit back there. Beautiful wheel and tire package. We have these amazing Michelin Cup Pilot Sport 2 tires, which are amazing grip. We have these gigantic brakes, cross-rolled rotors. Everywhere you look, you see vents and louvers. Absolutely beautiful vehicle. I love the look of the Lotus products. I've always loved Lotuses ever since I was a little kid. I think one of the first Lotuses that I fell in love with was a Lotus Esprit or Esprit. I think it's Esprit. I think that was made in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I guess one of the most famous movies that the Esprit was in was Pretty Woman. Richard Gere couldn't drive it, then he met a streetwalker, Julia Roberts, who was able to help him drive the Lotus, and then of course it led to love and all that wonderful stuff, as you can imagine. But Lotus has a reputation for making amazing race cars, amazing performance cars for a long time. They have a long reputation. It has that beautiful engine cover, supercharged. You can see it through the back window. You can see it through the top window of the rear liftgate. It looks fancy, looks cool, but underneath all that fancy red engine cover is just a old 3.5 liter Toyota V6, which is not bad at all. We have a little cargo space in here. Maybe enough for you and a significant other for a long weekend. Like the center Xing exhaust, underbody diffuser. You're gonna get a lot of looks and compliments on this thing. We got carbon fiber in the back. This thing is absolutely beautiful. We have complimentary shipping to Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. If you live a little bit further away, we can ship nationwide. Unfortunately, that can't be complimentary, but we can ship just about anywhere in the US. We work with a lot of logistics companies. Contact us for more information. And let's get behind the wheel and take this thing out for a spin. Okay, cool. Gotta love the push button start. We'll put it in sport mode. Put the exhaust loud. All right, we're gonna take this Evora GT up for a spin. Pretty exciting. Our finance manager is taking a little video of it. He's a little smitten with this car too. And that says a lot, because us car guys, we're around so many nice cars all the time. We're a little bit jaded, but something like this is so different, so exciting. We do get excited about stuff like that, but sometimes you just have BMWs, Mercedes, AMGs, M3s, M4s. We see them all the time, so we don't usually get too excited about cars like that. Sometimes the cars that I get excited about are like the cheap, like we took in this 97 Lincoln Town Car in really nice shape, and that's the one, oh, I want to check that out and drive it. It's like a time capsule. There it is over there. But this is definitely cool. So I represent a company. I'm not going to go too fast on public roads. We'll see how it accelerates to the speed limit. We'll see how it does in the corners. And that's the thing, is that people don't realize, and I think, you know, those guys and girls, I'm sure, who crash their cars, leaving those cars and coffee events and car shows, showing off. They shut off the traction control and stability control so they can do a burnout, but then they realize that, you know, without those electronic nannies, the car can go sideways on you pretty fast and it's hard to recover. 20 or 30 years ago, cars didn't make quite as much power as they do now, so you didn't really need those electronic nannies. You could shut the traction control system off and, you know, it wouldn't. But now cars just make so much power these days that things can happen faster than you can correct it sometimes. So I really caution people, you know, when you have a high performance car that has those electronic nannies, don't shut them off unless you really know what you're doing. And even more so in a vehicle like this, you have to really be respectful of this car, because it could turn around and bite you. You can end up in a ditch, which I don't want to be that person, and I'm sure you don't want to either. So obviously the best place to explore the full potential of this car is like on a track day, but it can also be a lot of fun on public roads too, if you can behave yourself. That exhaust sounds amazing. Engine sounds great. You can see the engine vibrating behind you through the little window. And that's a nice thing from a sensory perspective on a car like this, a mid-engine car. You can feel the engine vibrating right behind you. You can see it moving. I can see when I hit the throttle, I can see the throttle cable moving. Nice transmission. The clutch and the transmission are a little bit, you know, require a little bit of work. You have to be precise. You know, it's a heavy clutch because it's got a powerful engine, so you're going to need a heavy duty clutch so it's not going to get burnt out. All right, we got it straight away. Oh yeah, this thing scoots along. So I think the official specs on this is 0 to 60 right around 4 seconds, quarter mile right around 11 seconds at 112, 113 miles an hour. So going 60 miles an hour, the wind noise is not too bad. Obviously, you have the sound of the engine. You can make the exhaust a little quieter, I guess. Not too much of a difference. A little bit quieter. But this is a car not designed to be you know, super quiet and, you know, isolate you from senses. This is a car that you feel. You want to feel the vibrations of the engine. You want to feel every little pebble you drive over through the steering wheel. This is a car that you want to feel hardwired to and connected to, and that's exactly what they've done at Lotus. Alright, so through the magic of editing, I'll save you the monotonous drive to my secret little curvy road, and we'll be there momentarily. Alright, finally approaching my little secret curvy road. I like this road. I like to test performance cars in this road like this because it's really curvy and fun, but it's also imperfect. It's got a lot of washboarding and imperfections in the pavement, so you can really tell how a chassis is set up over uneven pavement. And this car is obviously designed to go fast in a straight line, but really where this thing is perfection is in corners like this, mid-engine, pretty much street legal race car. Oh man, this thing's just got so much power and so much grip. I could be going a lot faster, but I'm not, since we're on public roads. Yeah, this thing is absolutely a blast. It's like, the steering's like telepathic. And the wheel of that engine, the whine of the supercharger, it's just a great driving experience. This is just like threading the needle through these corners. Oh man. Yeah, this thing is just magical. So much grip. Oh, this thing would be a lot of fun on a track day. And of course, the fun is over way too much soon. I'll turn around and go down the hill. But this car is pure magic in the corners for sure. It's a lot of fun in a straightaway too with 400 horsepower. That's not the greatest corner right there. It's kind of a blind corner, but I got in just in time. Yeah. Give a little break, give a chance to people get ahead of me. Got a lovely view of Mount Rainier today. Here we go. Yeah, so much fun. I used to ride motorcycles. And motorcycles, if you've never ridden one before, it's just such a, you know, amazing experience, an open air driving experience. And sometimes it's, you know, you get, you know, compared to a motorcycle, a car is kind of not quite as much fun if you, you know, especially riding sport bikes and stuff like that. I've had a couple, you know, crashes in the motorcycles, 2 little kids, a wife who used to be a bodily injury claims adjuster, so riding's not the cards for me anymore, but man, you know, duplicating the fun of motorcycles is hard in a car, but this is a car that could pretty much match the fun that you get from a motorcycle, even though it might cost a little bit more money than most motorcycles. Oh, and that engine sounds amazing. And it does pretty good on the beat up uneven pavement. It's not, you know, jarring my kidneys. Obviously it's a pretty firm suspension, but Lotus did a pretty good job. I mean, this could be something that you could daily drive, you know, if you wanted to. I probably wouldn't, but you know, I might take it to work a few days a week, maybe on a, you know, on a Saturday. But yeah, this thing is just so much fun. Well, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully it was enjoyable. As usual, the fun is way too soon. I wish I could take this thing on a longer drive, take it down to the beautiful Oregon coast around Mount Rainier National Park. Not in the cars today. If you enjoyed the video, liked what you saw, please like it, subscribe for you. I always have some cool videos coming to you. We just did a C8 Corvette, a cool Lexus LC500 hybrid. So we always have some cool videos, and then I do some, you know, regular walk-around videos in the more, you know, mundane, not quite exciting inventory. But we have a lot of cool cars at Infiniti of Tacoma. So appreciate you watching. regardless if you're specifically looking at this car or if you're just looking for information on Lotus Evora in general. Hopefully it was informative. It's an absolute blast. Take one out for a spin. You'll be pleasantly surprised, just like me. Well, I'm not surprised. I knew this thing was going to be amazing. And it is. All right, thanks so much. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.